It's Tuesday. I just got back from class, so today I had 2 classes back to back. School was good. I had contracts in the morning, and like the discussions there were really good. And then I had legal writing right now. So this was our first legal writing class since our midterm. And as far as the midterm, she really just said we won't know for a couple of weeks. And because of the curve, like you don't really know anything even when you get your grade. Majority of the class, we actually had a negotiation assignment. We knew what the topic would be ahead of time, but we didn't know that we'd be like actually negotiating another group. It's honestly so hot right now. There's like warnings of a heat wave in LA. I walked like half a block to school, and by the time I get to school, like I'm hot, and like I wasn't even wearing, I mean, I'm always cold, so I always have to carry a jacket, but I wasn't even wearing my jacket today, and it was just so hot. And I have 2 cases to brief for contracts, and then I have 4 more pages to read for torts, but in that I have to brief another case. Shouldn't take me too long. The rest of the time I am going to be outlining, so I'm going to start with torts just because my professor has office hours today, and he has been reminding us that we need to make sure we're understanding the cases, and I feel like I have a good grasp overall. Like I feel like if I got cold called, I think I'd be able to answer all the questions. But it's just hard because sometimes I don't know if I misunderstood something. So I'm going to have a list of all the cases that I'm not entirely sure on. And then I want to go into the office hours with that list. I also want to do the contracts outline. Just like I want to do a little bit at a time so that it doesn't get too overwhelming because we have really covered so much in contracts already. As of this weekend, we're like on page 302, and this is the 4th week of contract. I am doing the accelerated program for law school where it's just 2 years, and when we're in class or when we're talking with professors, they're telling us that you can't do law school any faster than what we're doing basically. But I always think that I have nothing to compare it to, so I just think it's fast-paced regardless, but it is fast-paced. It's Thursday. I had 2 classes today. I had torts and contracts, but I was done with my classes a little earlier than usual. We finished today at 12:45. Texted my husband if he would be free also so we could go grocery shop. We desperately needed to go. Just grabbed a few things, and I'm gonna put the stuff away right now. In terms of what I want to do today, my legal writing homework, because I have that class tomorrow, but it's remote at least. I started my outlines for torts and contracts. We've covered a lot in both classes, but in torts, the review of the topics we covered took a lot longer. So we're still reading every day, and we obviously get like our reading assignments, but in terms of what's been covered in class, that volume is smaller than contracts. So I'm only gonna outline until the part that has been covered in class. That's the advice that they give us, because then you can add whatever feedback the professor gives. Yeah, I'm gonna do my torts outline. I was working on that yesterday, but then I started not feeling well, so I stopped. I will probably start reading for torts. The reading volume for torts has picked up, so I want to get ahead of that. And then I am still planning on getting all my readings done during the weekend. But since tomorrow I only have 1 class and I'm remote, it's just like I'm gonna treat that as the weekend already and start getting ahead on the reading, so it's split over 3 days instead of 2. I have a midterm next week for our, like, it's called Foundations, a Foundations course. It's not as long as a regular midterm. Really, that class is more to give you like all the foundations that you need for law school. So that midterm, like, exams would usually be 3 hours. This midterm's just 1 hour. There's gonna be a section where we have to do an essay response to like an essay question. And then we're gonna have the multiple choice questions, which are like mini essays, where you're just choosing the best option. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow, work on a study guide for it, just to be prepared. And like, that class is not as high stakes as the other core classes because it's just a 1 credit class, but everyone has to take it. But yeah, I think like that one it's doable, and I'm gonna take care of that this weekend so that then I can just keep reviewing it until the actual midterm on Wednesday. For the weekend, it'll be very contracts heavy again. I think last weekend I read 100 pages for contracts. This weekend it's 70 pages, so less, but then there's also more for torts, so it's kind of the same thing. Yesterday was Thursday. I was able to go to a Pilates class in the morning, and this is all, it just stems back to doing all the contracts readings on the weekend because I had that availability, whereas the week before I was waking up early, not to read for that day, but just to try to get ahead. And I need to work on the contracts outline too. But I feel like I need to get torts because, oh, I don't know if I mentioned this, but as part of our foundations course, they want us to submit an outline to get feedback on it. So it can be for another class. So I'm gonna just do the torts one since I have more material on that one. Like, the outline itself is more ahead than my contracts one. So I'm gonna put our groceries away right now, and then I'm gonna shower because it's been so hot. There's like a heat wave in LA, and it's just been really annoying. Even this morning I took a little, like a fan that I got in Barcelona. I took it to school because my walk to school is so short. By the time I get there, I'm like sweating, like it's so hot. So I'm planning on going to a Pilates class tomorrow morning just to try to take advantage of having a remote day for school. But the class isn't that early. I think it's from either 7 to 8 or 8 to 9. But actually, no, it's probably 7 to 8 because my class, I think, is at 10 or 10:30. I need to double check.